Discipline isn't punishment. It's devotion to the future version of you. For so long, discipline has been sold to us as restriction, pressure, hustle, or even self-harm disguised as productivity. But what if we shifted the narrative? What if discipline wasn't about pushing through the pain, but committing to the version of you say that you want to become? Redefining discipline as devotion. True discipline is rooted in love and not punishment. It's the quiet agreement that you make with your future self. It's fuck your feelings, follow the plan, and honoring your values even when your mood doesn't match. It's showing up for yourself with kindness. And it's saying no, not out of fear, but because your yes actually means something. This is an excerpt from section 6 of my brand new ebook, The End of Starting Over, your guide to healing, growth, and consistency. And if that is something that interests you and you would like to check it out, purchase the book, use it to follow along, you're ready to take yourself seriously, all of that, along with a free reset ritual, is down below in the description and the show notes. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of This is for the Soul, and I'm your lovely host, Brianna Sade. On this podcast, we talk about all things mental health, personal development, girl talk, spirituality, you name it, we are gonna talk about it. So, it feels like it has been a minute since I've sat down and talked to you guys, as I am continuing the Girl Who's Tired of Starting Over series, and we are now on part 6. And the topic of the day is discipline. Not only discipline, but self-discipline. So I'm just going to be real with you guys. I keep saying this, but this book is definitely aligning with my own life and what's going on. And I'm in a season where it requires a lot of discipline and consistency and patience. And self-discipline and we just have this love-hate relationship, because lately I've been learning to see discipline a little bit differently than how I've viewed it before. I'm seeing it not so much as a form of pressure, but I'm trying to view it as devotion and not punishment. Because yes, I'm in a season of my life that does require a lot of it. One thing is, true discipline is rooted in love. Regardless of how much we may feel about it, it's true. When we're trying to discipline ourselves, we're trying to put ourselves on the right track for the future. And when you view it as love and not punishment, it's more so an agreement with your future self. And it's about honoring your values when your mood doesn't fit your motivation. It's about choosing to show up for yourself, even in the most smallest ways, because at the end of the day, that still counts. And it's about creating consistency that builds self-trust, because self-trust is the best. When you trust yourself, it's like you don't really need anybody else to validate your feelings. And that's what I mean when I say discipline is devotion. Now, let me give you a real life example. My life, okay? I've been working on building a morning and a night routine. And my mom, she actually put me on to some new skincare. And I've made it a habit to every morning and every night I would brush my teeth and take care of my skin. Skincare has not always been like something that I would prioritize often. Like, I do wash my face and stuff like that, but as far as using all the fancy products and things like that, like, I have my high moments and then I have my moments where I just don't care. But I've been recently using these new products and I've been actually really liking them. And it does require the extras with the moisturizer and all the things. But it's like, do I always feel like doing that? No, I don't. However, even when I don't feel like it, I still try to at least show up for myself in the smallest way and do something. Because, of course, brushing my teeth, non negotiable. But if I don't feel like going full out on the skincare, I can just get a rag and boom, go about my business. And that usually tends to happen at night, because at nighttime is when I'm just like, I'm going to bed. I don't really care. I made that a bare minimum night routine. So at least I'm still holding myself accountable and still doing something. Because if I don't do anything at all, then I'm going to start to feel bad about myself and beat myself up, and I don't want to do that. I want to stay consistent. So if that is my version of staying consistent, then that's what I'm going to do. The bare minimum, it still feels like a win. It's taught me that discipline isn't about doing things perfectly as a perfectionist, because perfectionism can really hinder your movement and stunt your growth when you feel like you have to always show up at 100% and you don't. It's just about showing up. So here's what I've realized: the foundation of discipline is consistency. It's all connected. Everything is all intertwined. You have to be consistent and have the discipline to stay consistent and be able to trust yourself while doing so. And if you don't take yourself seriously, I have a hard time with taking myself seriously. If I don't take myself seriously, my brain doesn't either. That is when I start self-sabotaging, procrastinating, or ghosting my own goals. But what I notice is when I constantly show up, even if it's messy, my brain does start to believe me. And that's when real discipline starts to take root. So it's kind of like you have to trick yourself into wanting to do things in a way. Like, if you say, I'm going to get up every day at 6 in the morning, and then you don't get up every day at 6 in the morning, then when you actually really are trying to, your brain's going to be like, girl, you don't mean that, and you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen, because you're not actually saying it and then doing it. You're just saying it. That's how that works. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about mindset shifts. A few mindset shifts that have helped me embrace discipline in a loving way. Discipline isn't structure, it's freedom. It's a way to create space for you to grow in the way that you want to. So if you know that you have a goal that you are trying to achieve, or there is something that you have in mind that you want to get done, to be disciplined means to create some type of structure or environment that makes it a lot easier for you. The next thing is, every choice is a vote. Each small action is a vote for the future version of yourself. So if you have a hard time, or you're indecisive like me, making choices and decisions, just have your future self in mind. Think about what this decision will bring you long term if you want to go to that extent. Because when you think about the future, when you think about your future self and how this could impact you, sometimes, the truth might be a little hard to accept, but it can really help you make decisions moving forward, especially in terms of goals. And lastly, my favorite, the bare minimum matters. When you take a step every day, it really does not matter how small of a step it is. As long as you're doing something that is beneficial to what you want, it's going to get you there. Tiny steps compound into transformation. Transformation is about growth. It's not about how quick you get there, it's about progression. So if you take one step today and another tomorrow, and you keep going and going and going, eventually the momentum will build and you will see your progress, and you have something that you can be proud of, especially if you enjoyed the process, if you enjoyed progressing. That's the whole point. You're supposed to enjoy the process because it's what gets you to that point of success. So, how can you start practicing this in your own life? How can you start applying these mindset shifts in your own life? Here are 3 things that you can do. First, you can anchor your habits in love instead of pressure. So instead of pressuring yourself to do things, just be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, and really give yourself motivation out of love. If you know you need to do something, instead of forcing yourself to do it, find ways to get yourself to do it without being so hard on yourself. Think about your future self. Think about the things that you love. Think about how this could impact you. Number 2, keep your routines flexible. If you're someone like me, always have a plan A and a plan B. So some days you're going to operate on the full version, and some days you're going to operate on the quick one. But the key is to just give yourself grace, because again, being 100% all the time is just not possible. And if you think that it's possible, then you're going to probably end up somewhere completely burnt out because you've tried to turn yourself on to a million every day, all the time, when you know you just can't. So just be easy with yourself. Give yourself grace on the days that you know that you just cannot operate on your full capacity, and understand that it is okay. And number 3, something that I feel like a lot of us may have trouble with is celebrating our small wins, because they are proof that you're moving forward. Those tiny steps, they count. Even though it might not feel like nothing in the moment, even if it might feel like, it's something stupid, it really isn't. Like, if you are on a journey, or if you're choosing to commit to something and you're taking small steps to get to that, you should be proud of yourself. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're putting effort into it, be proud of yourself and be proud that you're choosing to commit by taking those steps. So always celebrate yourself, celebrate your small wins, celebrate the moments that might not feel like they're worth celebrating, because at the end of the day, they are. So here is my question to you. Where in life can you start showing up, even if it is in the most smallest way? Because discipline isn't about doing more, it's about honoring yourself. It's about honoring your values and what you want out of life. And that is where I'm going to stop part 6, you guys. If this episode spoke to you, remember that this is section 6 of my new ebook, The End of Starting Over, Your Guide to Healing, Growth, and Consistency. You can grab the book right now, along with a free reset ritual that can actually be really beneficial and help you redefine your relationship with self-discipline. And both are linked down below in the description box and in the show notes. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, leave a review, because your support matters. And if it wasn't for you, then I wouldn't be here continuing making content for the soul. So I love you guys, and check out next part. Bye. Mwah.